Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg Podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our savage take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/the SaVeg Podcast. What's up, guys? Grandpa Daniel and Rose here. I'm here with Grandpa Daniel. Today,
hello, guys.
We had more technical issues. So I'm using a different mic. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that's not too weird or distracting.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't make this sound like completely too different for you guys.
But you're just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, the other mic was having some issues with the cord and we couldn't fix it. Neither of us could. So
anyway, welcome to another episode, my friends. Episode number, do we know?
72, I think.
Oh, god damn, guys.
What? We're getting up there.
We are getting up there.
This is crazy.
It's been well over a year now.
Well, not well over.
We
started November 2019.
Yeah, and it's already April. So it's almost a year and a half, Daniel.
A year and a half of the SaVeg Podcast. That's
I hope you guys aren't sick of us yet.
Hopefully not.
I'm getting a little sick of this.
I'm getting sick of Rose. No,
We literally went on a walk for like an hour before this and already talked. So...
Yeah.
Honestly, it shocks me how much we can talk, especially Daniel. I am concerned for Daniel's well-being sometimes.
At one point, I got really excited because I wanted to tell Rose this story. And like when I don't know why, I was just getting so excited. And I wasn't breathing at one point. And Rose was like, Daniel, just stop. Take a breath.
In
take a
and
breath.
out.
And I just wanted to get all the words out before I forget. I think the reason why is because like when I'm telling a story or something or something hits me, I want to say it right away because otherwise I'll forget it.
Daniel, you've never forgotten to tell me a story ever in your life.
No, I know, but it could happen.
It's never happened in your life, and I don't think it ever will.
Well, you never know.
In fact, you like to repeat stories often.
This is so true. I'm a very...
Speaking of stories, what are our stories today?
Well, we got a few... Oh, God, guys. The news
We were trying to look for happy stories, were we not?
Well...
Maybe not so much.
No, we weren't really. I mean, we're just like looking in general, and a lot of stuff is kind of depressing right now.
I mean, has it ever been not depressing?
We
may have had one episode where we talked about one story that was like relatively not depressing.
And then we made it depressing. We were like, oh, this is a great topic. And then
we're like, actually, this points to many problems in society.
Can I grab this mic, Rose?
Yes, you may grab the mic because it wasn't broken like yours.
Perfect. So then I feel like I can because I felt like I was really forward.
I know.
Like really
we need to invest in some better equipment.
we need to set up like a studio.
Oh my god! But then
that's expensive.
Well, I don't have space.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the issue.
I don't really have space either.
We could make a little space, little corner, podcast corner.
We could.
Potentially.
Because I got such a small couch. It leaves a lot of room in the living room, Rose.
Did we tell this story last time?
We did, yeah. Rose knocks this small couch, but look at this world of opportunities. It's just opened up now.
Okay, fine. Okay, so we'll set up a nice new budget-friendly studio in Daniel's new apartment.
Oh, and I have those stools. So we could do the stools.
They look kind of uncomfortable, Daniel.
They're as comfy as hell.
Are they?
Yeah. It has a little backrest.
Okay, so what do we need? Then we need some mic stands.
Yeah, so we need like a mic stand because what we can do is we could do the backdrop. We can have the camera like here.
But then we need some lights. I ain't gonna bring these lights.
I have a Himalayan salt lamp.
We'll get some lights from the dollar store.
Okay, deal. That's deal. Okay. Deal.
We'll staying on brand.
Exactly. I mean, our brand is budget friendly and conscious to the constraints of life.
We are frugal and resourcewul.
Yes, this is it. Oh, I like that. Resourceful.
Yes.
Well, speaking of resourceful, guys, I'm just gonna it's my turn to throw a little bit of shade. I didn't mention this in the last podcast, but I think it's really important that we do mention it. When I was moving out, a lot of my friends were like, oh, we have things that we if you want this, whatever else. And Rose was like, hey, I'm getting a new TV stand. Do you want to have my TV stand? And I was like, yes, this is perfect. I'm going to get a TV stand for my house.
Okay. In my defense, before you jump in.
Yeah.
I did warn you. And I do think it is at least 30% your fault.
No, it isn't. Anyway, so I go and get this TV stand from Rose's and we pick it up. And it's kind of a bit shaky, and there was a screw that fell out at one point. I was like, okay,
wait. So I told Daniel before giving him this stand, I was like, okay. So the thing is, I've had this for a few years, okay, and it's been through a few things, okay. So it's been through some moving, you know, it's been through some, you know, different apartments, and I think when I built it, there was something that went wrong, and I never fixed it.
That's the understatement of the year, Rose.
So when it was here, it was fine. It held up the TV fine, but there was like some part where it just like something just didn't match in properly, and then when you move it, things kind of...
Well, and Rose did tell me, Daniel, you might have to like tighten a few screws and, you know, whatever else. So anyway, so we put it in my friend's vehicle. We get to my apartment, literally taking it out of the vehicle. The door and the side come off. The bottom falls off. Screws come out everywhere. And I was like, and we're like holding this like heavy like thing. And me and my friends were just like, oh my God, like, what do we do? So we brought the pieces of this, of the things as we're getting into the building, other parts are falling off. A shelf fell out. I was just like, oh my God. So we finally get it to the apartment and we're like, we just need to leave it. And we put it on my floor. And I was just thinking, how am I going to build this? Like, I have no idea. And I texted Rose and I was like,
I felt so bad.
I was like, you might have to help me, like show me how to build this because like,
and I was like, I have no idea, Daniel.
Yeah, and I was like, clearly.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I was like, clearly you have no idea. Luckily I had a power screwdriver. So I just like screwed some extra things in. And then when I finally finished it, it's like, and I had this before, but I think it got worse.
Yes, it got
like,
worse.
It has like a concavity. So it like literally.
Where the TV is.
Yeah, where the TV is. It like dips down to the point where you're like, the wood might snap at any moment. But I put some little supports under it. So I'm hoping it will last.
Oh my God. And then I felt so bad. I was like, Daniel, I'll treat you to dinner. Yeah. Oh God. So, but when I got rid of it, let me just tell you, I was very happy. I was like, you know what? Daniel has low standards. He'll be okay with this.
And yeah, it was not a pretty picture, but you know what? That's fine. You do
like to take, you know, old broken things from my past and turn it into something that is useful. Yeah. I mean, not beautiful, but useful to some degree.
I get use out of like.
I mean, last time when I went to visit Daniel in London, so if you guys don't know, Daniel and I used to live together in London a long time ago as, you know, flatmates.
Yeah.
And so me and our friend Chrissy and Daniel, we lived in the same flat for like 6 months. It was great.
It was a good time.
And then, so me and Chrissy had to leave because we had to move back to Canada. Daniel was staying longer. So we left a few things there, you know, just kind of like, you know, maybe threw away some things, left some things with Daniel. And then Daniel ended up moving to another flat. Okay. So he had moved to a completely different flat after we had left. Okay. And then when I went to visit him in his flat, I found so much junk that we had left that Daniel had just hoarded and brought to his new apartment. And I was like, Daniel, this, like, he literally had an old like hotel robe or something that like Chrissy gave you. And it was like it was like an old like hotel robe. And also, this is the worst.
What is it?
Was it flip-flops from a hotel or slippers?
No, they were okay.
Or was it flight slippers?
It was
That's even worse.
It was flight slippers, and I just happened to have them. Yeah.
No, you didn't just happen to have them. You packed them up consciously as you were moving to a different flat.
Yeah.
And you decided, hey, out of all the things I should be keeping, I should definitely be keeping these free slippers that you get at a hotel. Not a hotel, a flight.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? That is...
they worked. You used them, didn't you, while you were there?
Did I use them, Daniel?
I'm not sure, because I had that.
I mean, I probably did, because
they
your
were my
floors
house
are probably
slippers,
disgusting.
So.
I'm just kidding. You know,
I lived with 6 people.
You know what? No. This was your new place with
Lydia. We kept that place pretty clean.
Wait. My story is actually, it gets worse because you had moved twice. That was your So, oh my God, I forgot. So I thought he had moved once, but no.
It's twice.
So from the place that we lived, he had moved to a different place, and then he had moved again. And in the second place he was at, as in like the final place, he still had...
and I had all you guys' old towels as well.
Oh my God. And you had some like random little trinkets. It was so funny. I was like, you still have this?
Yeah. Well, you know, it got good use. It got used.
I mean, it was great, Daniel. You know, it's all about... You're taking the zero waste movement and
to
just
the next
taking
level.
to a whole new level.
Yeah, well, you know, it's just... So I'll probably, when I retire, I'll still have that TV stand of yours.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I thought, you know what? I will give it to Daniel who will appreciate it more than I will. Or at least get some use out of it.
True.
Yes.
I mean, it's good. I think it's good to like reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yes, very
you know?
good.
So
yeah.
All about that zero waste movement.
I was going to try to sell it on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm just so glad I didn't give it to some random.
Oh, God. They definitely would have asked for it. They would have been like,
yeah.
Hey, I'm bringing this back.
Yeah. I would have been like, just chuck it. Anyway, guys. Oh, my gosh. So our first story.
It's been hitting the...
It's all over, and it's causing a stir, quite the stir. So, which should I kick it off?
Well, I'll kick it off. And then,
okay, you kick it off, Daniel.
Basically, and I might get this not 100% right, but
that's great.
Yeah. What had happened, guys, and you've probably heard about this, but I guess Khloe Kardashian had like her assistant or somebody took a picture of her at the pool at her house, you know, just like smiling or whatever. The assistant like posted it, not thinking anything of it. Like it just was like, oh, whatever. It's a nice picture. Thank you. It's a nice picture, whatever. And basically it's following this picture getting posted, I guess the Kardashian family and Khloe were like, we need to get this picture taken down. Like, we don't want this on the internet anymore. And that's caused like more of a stir.
I know. They call this the Barbara Streisand effect.
Yeah.
Because I guess something similar happened to Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
Where she tried to get rid of something. But then because she was trying to get rid of it, it became a much bigger deal than it ever was.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So Khloe, I guess this picture got posted and she didn't want it posted. And then now literally everyone has seen this picture. Because I wouldn't have given a shit, but I went to look for this picture.
Exactly. Well, it's the same for me, because as soon as like you have an internet, you have a picture on the internet,
yeah,
and you're like, and a celebrity's making a big deal about this picture. Yeah. Now everyone's like, oh, of course I want to see it.
Yeah.
What is she freaking out about, right?
Yeah.
So curiosity, obviously. So not only is this picture getting more traction, this is a reminder to everybody listening to this podcast, but just in general, in laugh.
What's your laugh lesson?
Whatever you put on the internet, a picture, no matter who you are, somebody is going to save it and it's posted somewhere.
No matter who you are, Daniel.
Yeah.
Even Joe Schmo, the nobody down the street.
Well, okay, maybe not the Joe Schmo, but what I'm saying is like, basically whatever you put on the internet is like going to be there forever. Like there's almost like no way to get rid of it. You know what I mean?
Yes, but especially if you try to make a big deal out of it.
Exactly. And that's exactly what happened in this situation. They're like freaking out, like, you know, needing to get this picture down. Of course, now the picture's going to stay up there.
Yes. You know, and now it's caused a bigger stir because you know what happened afterwards.
What happened afterwards?
Of course you don't know. So
okay. Shall I go?
I mean, you know, I carry the show, so I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so Rose, tell us what happened next.
Oh God. So basically, I've lost my train of thought laughing about this whole situation. So what had happened was, anyways, she freaked out, wanted to have it removed, and then I guess she was trying to get it removed, and somehow that got into the news. I don't know how this happened. I guess like when she removed it, people were like, why is she removing it? I don't know. Anyways, it became big news, and then she went on Instagram and she wrote this like long post where, okay, so first of all, I guess she went on Instagram Live and decided that she wanted to prove, first of all, this photo is not bad. Like, she looks good. She just looks very different. Okay? Like, because the thing is, if you guys don't know anything about the Kardashians, they love to Photoshop their photos. And also, especially Khloe Kardashian is quite known for this. Like, she Photoshops her photos, and she also, she alters her photos. She's gone through, obviously, some plastic surgeries. Yeah. She's obviously done a lot, which is fine. But the problem that people have is that they are so, like, not willing to tell people that they have. Yeah. Like, they're so, like, secretive, even though it's, like, the most obvious thing in the world.
100%.
But anyways, so she went on, like, Instagram Live and was, like, showing off her body, basically, like, trying to say that, like, actually, like, this is what I really look like. Yeah. That photo was just a bad angle and a bad photo. And she was just kind of, like, doing this weird thing where she was trying to, I guess, like, prove that she is, you know, hot. Like, I don't know. And then this got even more, like, attention because people were saying that she was just, like, how do I say? Because she, like, wrote this post on Instagram, which I will read, actually. Okay. And then, so she, like, posted something like this where she's, like, showing off her body and, like, obviously she looks good, whatever. Yeah. And then she wrote this post where she wrote, hey, guys, this is me and my body unretouched and unfiltered. First of all, you're not talking about how many like, sorry, but you're not talking about all the things that you did to look that way.
Exactly.
That's different as well. Anyways, that photo that was posted this week is beautiful. But as someone who has struggled with body image her whole life, when someone takes a photo of you that isn't flattering or in bad light or doesn't capture your body the way it is after working so hard to get it to this point and then shares it to the world, you should have every right to ask for it not to be shared, regardless of who you are. Okay, first of all, don't say it's beautiful followed by I hated this photo because I look like shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the
and
fuck?
then take it down.
And then, in truth, the pressure, constant ridicule, and judgment my entire life to be perfect and to meet others' standards of how I should look has been too much to bear. Khloe is the fat sister. Khloe is the ugly sister. Her dad must not be her real dad because she looks so different. The way she could have lost all that weight must have been from surgery. Should I go on? So I do feel bad for her.
Yeah,
like, I've always felt kind of bad for her.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I really cared that much about the Kardashians, but like, that must suck, right?
Of
like,
course.
you know, everyone's like, oh my God, her sisters are so hot. And why does she turn out this way? Like, that's so fucking rude.
But she's not ugly. This is the crazy thing.
But she's being compared to her, like, you know, like Kim Kardashian, for example, right? And like, and she's not ugly, but she's also like, again, okay, I'll get to it in a second. I'll keep reading. Oh, but who cares how she feels because she grew up in a life of privilege. She's also on a reality show, so she signed up for all of this. And of course, I'm not asking for sympathy, but I'm asking to be acknowledged for being human. I'm not perfect, but I promise you that I try every day to live my life as honestly as possible and with empathy and kindness. It doesn't mean that I have not made mistakes, but I'm not going to lie. It's almost unbearable trying to live up to the impossible standards that the public have all set for me. For over a decade now in photos, every single flaw and imperfection has been microanalyzed and made fun of to the smallest detail, and I'm reminded of them every day by the world. And when I take that criticism to use as motivation to get myself in the best shape of my life and to even help others with the same struggles, I am told I couldn't have done it all through hard work and I must have paid for it all. You never quite get used to being judged and pulled apart and told how unattractive one is. But I will say, if you hear anything enough, then you start believing it. This is an example of how I've been conditioned to feel that I am not beautiful enough just being me. I love a good filter, good lighting, and an edit here and there, the same way I throw on some makeup and get my nails done or wear a pair of heels to present myself to the world the way that I want to be seen, and it's exactly what I will continue to do unapologetically. My body, my image, and how I choose to look, and what I want to share is my choice. It's not for anyone to decide or judge what is acceptable or not anymore. For those else who feel the constant pressure of not ever feeling perfect enough, I want you to know I see you and I understand. Every day I'm told by my family and friends who love me that I am beautiful, but I know that it needs to be believed from within. We're all unique and perfect in our own way, whichever way one chooses to be seen. I have realized that we cannot continue to live life trying to fit into the perfect mold of what others have set for us. Just do you and make sure your heart is happy. What do you think?
Oh, God damn. I mean, I don't disagree necessarily with some of the things that she's saying about how, but I don't think, because she's saying, oh, like with the whole, like, oh, I have this constant pressure from like the world and everything else. Everybody that's posting and everyone that's on social media is having those like same, obviously not quite to that level because she's obviously like a celebrity and stuff. But I do feel like a part of it does come with the territory in a sense that like you did sign up to have a reality TV show, film your lives every single moment. You've built a massive career and been hugely successful through social media, through these crafted images. And actually,
you're almost there, Daniel.
Is that what
you got the main point?
Oh, God,
you're almost at the main point.
I don't know if it's going to be the main point that Rose is thinking, but what I'm saying is those beauty standards and everything that you're saying you're pushing on other people, or people are pushing on you by posting really filtered pictures. Daniel. You're the ones that are
they are pushing the beauty standard that they are complaining about.
Exactly.
You are the one, that's what everyone is saying, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's so hypocritical. Mm-hmm. It's like, how do you not get the like irony of this situation? Mm-hmm. Where you are the ones like, and it's not just her, but it's her whole family. They've literally made a very lucrative career out of looking impossibly beautiful. Yeah. And out of telling people that you have achieved these standards by not doing much. You know? They pretend, which is, I think that's the main problem. Like, you could have done it in a different way, right? Like, you could say, I've done all this work. Like, I have to look, you know what I mean? Like, I would be like, of course, it's easier for me to judge from this, from the outside.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's like, you can't go up there and say and pretend that you got all of this naturally or just like, lie by omission by
Yeah.
saying, oh yeah, I mean, people are just saying she must not have, like, I'm like, bitch, you did get work done. Like, don't even fucking pretend.
Exactly. It's the hypocrisy of it,
because
right?
when you say that, when you don't give people that information, you are setting the body standard to be unrealistic.
Yeah.
So then you're complaining. People are saying like she's complaining about the monster that she created,
Yeah. No, and that makes that makes perfect sense. And again, I'm not discrediting she's saying she's like worked super hard to get into shape, and she's gotten into really, really great shape. But then also, like, you know what I mean? A lot of the stuff that they have, for example, like not everybody has access to it. So that in itself is an unrealistic standard, because she's saying, oh, if you work hard and you do this, you too can also lose a bunch of weight and get in shape. But it's like, well, hang on a second. You have personal assistants. You have a personal chef, a personal trainer. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she didn't put the work in to like lose weight and stuff, but like you and me don't have access to that. We can go for runs and try to push ourselves and stuff, but we also don't have the access to some of those like resources and stuff that she would. So again, pushing that kind of unrealistic expectation that this is what you can achieve. And then you're right, like compounded on top of that, you're getting work. They like all of them have had some form of work done. Right?
Yes,
something. They will never say it. They barely admit it. I think Kylie finally came out and was like, "Yes, I got my lips done." No shit. Okay,
it's been like literally, it's like the most obvious.
I know, and I don't know if that's part of like, I don't know what they're like the image that they're trying to achieve by doing that. But again, it's pushing that narrative like. If you don't talk about it, people think, well, maybe they didn't get work done. Maybe this is achievable from like doing a proper contour or whatever else. It's like, no, like these people are getting stuff done, and it's pushing that. It's reinforcing and actually making it worse for other people. So when that happens to you and your photo gets leaked and put up online, which she doesn't even look bad in the photo.
Oh my God,
you know
that's
what
the
I mean?
thing. It's like, don't give me this bullshit, like body positivity bullshit.
She looks,
when you look perfectly fine,
like,
but you just look different than all your other airbrushed.
Thanks, Grandma Rose.
Airbrushed and photoshopped photos. And again, she looks good. Like
her body looks amazing.
Yeah, she looks beautiful, and she looks like a normal human being, unlike a lot of the photos that they post.
Exactly,
but they don't want to look like a normal human being because they did not become billionaires by being normal human beings.
Exactly.
But then you don't get to fucking pretend that you're a normal human being when you don't want to be a normal human being.
Oh God, this is like the plight of humanity, though. It's like we always like beggars can't be choosers. No, it's not. That's not the right expression. But it's like it's the same. We see this.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
That's exactly it. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't like become successful by promoting this image and making perfection, and then get mad when this happens, and then you're like, oh well, it's because society's put these unrealistic expectations on me as an individual, and it's like, but you're perpetuating those to everybody else by posting these super airdropped photos, you know. And you're right. She did like look
airshopped, Daniel. Come on,
airshopped.
My word was at least it made sense. Okay, airbrushed / photoshopped.
Yeah, okay.
Airshopped.
Airshopped. Because like we have the photo here, and like honestly, like she doesn't look bad.
She doesn't look bad at all. She looks beautiful, but she doesn't look like her from what I know what her
exactly.
Look like.
She looks like I think that's the perfect way that you said it. She looks like a normal person. Like this looks like somebody that I would see just like at a pool somewhere.
Yeah,
you know
she
what
looks
I mean?
good. And
still looks good, but she's not like this. But
she wanted it taken down. So that's the thing. It's like, listen, if you want to take it down, fine. I understand. Like I get it.
Yeah.
That, like, and like, you know, it's awful. Like I know that like the press is obviously very mean to them.
Yeah.
To her specifically.
We're not denying that.
Yeah. So I get that she would be very insecure. But like, first of all, you're a grown-ass woman. So like, maybe you can take this. If you're going to try to push this like nonsense and get people to feel bad for you, then you can't do this thing where you're like, oh, well, I have to meet these expectations. So that's why I took it down. What? Okay. Why don't you, if you're going to be against that, then you could be like, hey, yeah, this is what I look like. I look fine the way I look.
Exactly.
Here it is. Like, it would have been so much more powerful if she had just posted that herself. She was like, you know what, fuck it. I get it. Like, it sucks. I didn't think this was nice. I didn't like this photo, but like,
this is what I look like.
This is what I look like. That would have been so much better. But of course, I mean, I don't expect them to, you know.
Exactly. Because you're right. It would be more empowering though, to like empowering to other people as well, to say like, yeah, you know what? And she mentioned in that post that she said she likes to get dolled up and she likes to put makeup on and do her nails and stuff. So this just happens to be a photo of her without being dolled up. You know what I mean? Like, and again, like this, I feel like especially since 2010, Instagram, has been like this huge driving force in like the beauty standards world and everything else. It's gotten crazy.
I know, it's
because
crazy.
It's like, and even for me, like I'll look at like people that are in really good shape. Like I'll happen to be like looking
like
at them.
Guys.
And yeah,
guys and girls,
just people in shape in general. I'll be like, oh, cool. Like, and I'll follow because maybe they have some good workouts and whatever else. And I'll like follow them on Instagram. And it's the algorithms, right? So you start doing that. And then all of a sudden, like I went on my page one time and I took a screenshot. I think I sent it to you and Christelle in our group chat. And I was like, well, and it was literally like just all the suggested pages were like people posing in like six packs and everything else. And like, if you see this flood of images, you're like, oh my God, everybody's like this.
Right.
I'm not. What's wrong with me? And it's perpetuating this problem.
Yeah. And we're like older. So like we're not as affected. So imagine being like a teenager, which a lot of teenagers follow the Kardashians.
Exactly.
And the Jenners. And so you would think even more so, you're like, oh my God, they're so perfect. Like, why am I, why do I look like this?
Like
and
they look like this amazing, incredible. And
you're right. Like Instagram is so bad for that. Like just so many people just looking. And these people are responsible for this. Like at least like they have combined, they've got, I don't know, 10 million followers, maybe even more, maybe even 1 billion. Who the fuck knows?
They have more. So each one of them has
over
like 150 million followers.
Shut the fuck.
Look at Khloe's page right now. I bet you she's at like 140.
How are these people famous?
140 million.
Oh my God, they don't do anything. Oh, it kills me.
So if you take a look at her page.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Khloe Kardashian has 136 million. I fucking hate this universe.
Check out her sister, Kim.
Okay, no, I'm going to look at Kylie because I know she probably has the most.
Kylie has like
225 million followers. What the... Okay, Kim.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. So there you go.
214 million. Okay, I am about to quit this.
So, but between all of the Kardashians and Jenners, they probably have a billion people following this. Some probably follow all of them, but
they all have got like, I'm sorry, but like they've got some level of a what do you call it, Daniel? BBW?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, it's not BBW. BBL?
Yeah. So there's
Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah, we think we should put a caveat that we don't know for sure.
Okay, let's avoid the lawsuits.
Yeah,
from the Kardashians.
Yeah, they're gonna really, because our podcast gets so many views, so they're definitely gonna be after us.
Daniel.
They're gonna ask for this episode taken down.
Yes,
for sure. But no, they there's a lot of procedures because and actually another interesting thing kind of ties into this. But we'll talk. I think we should talk a little bit about the J-Lo thing as well, because because it's similar idea to this. So when these people come forward and say, "I've had no like invasive,"
or they don't say that they have.
Or they don't. They're just
lying by omission.
Exactly. They're like they never talk about it. They never like say anything. And then quite often when they're questioned, they're like evasive about it, and they're not like. And I remember there was one episode of the Kardashians where like Kim Kardashian went to get like a butt scan to prove that she like didn't have butt implants, right? And the thing is, I remember watching this YouTube channel as well about different types of ways to lift your butt, and surgically, yeah. And there's different ways, and some of them don't involve implants. So like there's one called a Brazilian butt lift. It's like a BBL for short,
which Daniel wants to get.
I joke about it with Rose all the time
every day. He's like, oh yeah, I kind of want to get a BBL. I'm like, I feel like one day you're just gonna show up
and have it done. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. But that's when they like, and it's actually a really dangerous procedure. Like it's not good, but they'll suck fat from certain areas of your body, and then they'll like inject those fat cells into like other areas like your butt, so that actually it's not like an implant per se. It's like added fat in that area.
Right.
So if you did a scan, the scan's just going to bring up fat cells and look like a normal butt. So there's so many different things that people could have done. Not saying that that's what they have done, but potentially. And I'm sorry, but like each of them, like you look at like Kylie, Kim, all of them, like their butts just like
don't look real.
Yeah, they're like unproportional.
They just don't look real.
And I don't know. So
I would like to make a point. Like they don't necessarily have the responsibility of saying, I had all this done, right?
Yeah.
Like I get that. But at the same time, first of all, don't come out here and, do the whole like, oh, like people are mean to me because like don't do that. Like if you're going to be unrealistic and you don't want to tell people, then you play that game, okay? Yeah. But don't be all like, oh my God, why are there unrealistic body standards? And second, don't sell fucking products pretending that you just use those products and all of a sudden you
yeah.
lost weight. You know,
Yeah.
they're selling skinny teas, they're selling fucking lollipops that make you like lose your appetite.
Yeah.
And they're like pretending that like that's what helped them get there. That's the problem.
Exactly. And so that is a very good segue
Yes.
into the Jennifer Lopez story, which isn't what we were going to talk about today, but I want to talk about it because
Yeah.
it just links with all this topic so well. Is she's also kind of come under a little bit of fire because she's recently released a like skincare, a whole skincare line, right? And you know, don't get me wrong, Jennifer Lopez, gorgeous. You know, she's
so gorgeous.
She's you know, she's blessed. She's been touched by an angel.
She'd be touched by that Latina angel. God
But
damn.
Again, the idea that she's promoting these products and saying this is what I'm using to like, you know,
Yes.
she one of the secret ingredients is olive oil, and she said, oh, I've been using olive oil for years and blah blah. This is why my skin is so radiant. And it's like, well, that, and you have a dermatologist on staff, you have like a nutritionist, all this, you have access to all of this stuff. She also doesn't drink. There's a lot of different factors in it, right? And the fact that she's like promoting this as like, this is if you get
This is the secret.
That's the misleading thing to the public, saying, oh, if you get this skincare regime and you use my products. And it was funny, so I did watch this one YouTuber that was like reviewing her line and stuff, and she made this comment and she was like, well, that's so funny, JLo, you've been using this miracle olive oil for the last like 40 years and you just decided now to release it in a skincare line. Yeah. You didn't want to do it any of those other years before. It's just like surprise now. And like, if it's a secret ingredient, like why do you want to share it with, you know what I mean? Like it's like, it's very and unfortunately, like so many celebrities do this. It's
and like it sucks because I really like JLo
I
for some
know,
reason.
I do
she
too.
seems like such a nice person, but at the same time, it's like, and I know that she's probably advised by her marketing team to say these things, but it's just so disingenuous.
I know.
Like you can sell. I feel like you can sell a product and just say like, this is a good product.
Exactly.
Like, you know what? Like, and then you can even say like, you know, I've been using it for the last like, you know, 2 years or something.
Yeah. Okay? And I really like it.
I haven't been using that formula for the last fucking 20 years. Okay. And and the other like disingenuous thing for her was that like, she doesn't mention, she says that she's never gone through any like
invasive procedures.
Right.
Yeah.
So she said she didn't do any Botox or something like that. And then that's when everyone ripped her apart, was like, maybe you didn't do Botox, but there's a lot of other things you could do that aren't invasive.
Exactly.
Like chemical peels or I don't know, a bunch of other stuff.
But you want to know also what I found out about Botox, which is a bit shady.
What'd you find out, Daniel?
So, because I watched this like whole, I was in a YouTube rabbit hole.
When did this happen? And was this after we had a discussion about this?
I think so.
Right.
It was recently. But anyway, there was like this doctor that like talks about like surgeries and everything else.
Sure.
And he was saying it's really misleading when celebrities come forward and say, oh, I've never used Botox.
Okay.
Because actually Botox is a brand
Shut up.
I'm serious. So it's a brand of this chemical, right? It's called, I can't remember what the chemical is, but there's like other things that are exactly like Botox, but Botox is like the number one brand, but there's other ones. You can Google it.
So you think that celebrities are saying, I've never done Botox, but
well, I think
they could have done
some of them.
That's insane.
I mean, I'm not saying
I just feel like, okay, like not even coming from like an ethical perspective.
Yeah.
But if I was like really famous and I got work done, I think I would just be afraid of being
outed.
So I think I just couldn't lie because I'd just be like, oh my God, they're going to know.
Exactly. And I mean, I guess, again, easier said than done because we're not in that situation, I guess. Well, you a little bit more.
Goddamn no.
But like I feel like if I was on a talk show and people were like, could tell that maybe, you know, my face was a little bit more lifted or whatever else, and it was brought up and they were like, oh, like, did you get some work done? I don't want to be outed, and I just don't see like such a big deal to say, yeah, you know what, I did.
Is that a shameful thing? I mean, everyone in Hollywood gets work done.
Exactly. And I don't think, especially nowadays, it's not as shameful. Do you know what I mean? Maybe like 20, 30 years ago, people were more nervous and shy about it. But now it's like become so commonplace. Like, you know, Botox, lip injections, all this stuff. Like so many people have it. So really just to be like, oh yeah, I had a little bit of enhanced, like I had some work done or whatever. Like doesn't carry the same stigma. But I guess a lot of people just don't want to be discussing it or be open about it if they are asked. I don't know why.
Because they want to seem like it's natural.
I guess.
See, that's the thing. So don't believe celebrities when they're like, oh my God, like, oh, you know, I just sleep really well and, you know, I just put on some olive oil. Okay, nobody fucking puts on olive oil on their fucking face.
I know. Well, the thing is
they actually say that's not even good for your
skin. I know.
Skin.
It's so funny because this dermatologist was like, because there's some oils that are good for your skin, right? Olive oil apparently, and I don't know too much about it, they're like, it's not one of them. Like olive oil is not a good one to put on your skin.
I think you can put on your like body, but not on your face apparently.
Yeah, because the pores are different or something.
It's something I've heard that for a long time. Like this is because like I think before that was like the kind of misconception. Everyone was like talking about olive oil.
Yeah.
Like many years ago, and then people were like, no, actually, it's not good for your skin, as in like it's gonna clog your pores or something.
Yeah.
So then, and then similar to coconut oil as well, because I used to use coconut oil as like a night cream because everyone's like, oh my god, this is so good for you. And then later I found out that it was like not good.
Really?
So I stopped using it. Yeah, apparently not for your face. Again,
I use it on
for
my
your
body.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
But for your face, and then I think I do remember like after I stopped using it, it was like I think my skin cleared a bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fucking weird.
God damn.
So anyways, J-Lo is definitely not just using olive oil,
exactly.
my friends.
She has access to.
You're right. She also does not drink. She has a very strict like, routine
and regime.
And her job, like, remember, I mean, I'm sure our audience, were smart enough to like, I don't know, but like in case there's any young people listening or, impressionable people, like remember that this is like their job.
Yeah.
Like literally their job is to look beautiful. And like, no offense to J-Lo, I do actually like her.
Yeah, I do too.
But like, she's famous for being hot.
Yeah.
Let's be real. She's not that great of a singer. She's a pretty good dancer.
Yeah.
But again, there's better dancers out there.
Yeah.
And she's a really not that great actress.
Her movies are so cheesy.
And like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, that's her job. So we shouldn't be like jealous because like, I'm sorry, if it was my job to be hot 24/7, I think I could do it.
Yeah. But again, and again, you just have to remember, like, these people, they have access to these, like, massive teams. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that we don't see.
Yes.
And, I don't know what I would be like, but let's say I was, like, rich and famous, and I had a personal chef, a trainer, everything else.
Yes.
I'd probably look better than I do right now. I'd probably look fucking good.
I mean, you look good, Daniel, but we would look like Ken and Barbie.
Exactly. It would be enhanced. You'd see me. I'd have the beach pictures of me running and they'd be like Daniel's
You'd be
workout
like the
regime.
real life Ken.
Yeah. God damn. Access to like all kinds of facials.
Yes.
I'd have one probably every day. Wake up, have a massage when I roll out of bed. I'd be so relaxed and zen. God damn. I'd be looking like an angel.
Oh my god, seriously. I mean, what do these Kardashians do anyways other than be famous?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair,
I'm sure they do work hard.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they have a team behind everything.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
I was going to say the one thing, like, a lot of people are like with the Kardashians, like, oh, well, what do these people do? And, the thing is, they have been very successful and strategic in taking, they've really taken that idea of like having a reality show and they have ran with it. Like they have
very
been
smart.
Super, super smart. And then
that mom, man.
Oh yeah, she is
the powerhouse behind all of this.
And she, and they took it even a step further because they used their that show, obviously that started growing their social platforms, and then they could
what
see
came first, the sex tape or the show?
The sex tape.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what kind of launched the show.
Right. Okay.
And it was funny because like as their social media followings are growing, they start to realize they have some power here with the influencing and stuff. So naturally start releasing their own products, things like that. That's why they're stopping the show. They don't need the show anymore.
Right. Are they stopping the show?
Yeah, the show's, I think this is the last season.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because
how many seasons are there?
There's a lot. There's like 20.
Shut
22.
up.
Yeah, it's been going on for like
Have you watched a season, Daniel?
I've watched a few. I used to watch it back. I used to love it back in the day.
Oh my god!
I like the old episodes. It's so fake now. Like, well, I mean, not that it wasn't back then.
Right.
But I just feel like so much of it's just like scripted.
All I've seen is like on TikTok. There's this girl that like parodies these shows, and she looks kind of like them too. So it's kind of funny. So she'll be like every episode of the Keeping Up the Kardashians, and she's just sitting, and Kim's just on her phone, and then Kourtney's like, so I'm thinking of taking the kids to the park. And then Kim's like, yeah. And they just like sound so like dull.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, is this what they are like?
It was actually like I did actually enjoy the older seasons though, because there was like some really good. I don't know.
When Kylie Jenner looked completely different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She looked.
Oh my god. I still can't like recognize. Like if you look at her old photos. Yeah. I'm like I can't even. I mean, of course she grew up. I get that.
Yeah, that's part of it.
But like again, let's not pretend.
Oh, of course.
Like come
on. Again, and by not talking or skirting around questions about that stuff,
it makes it a bigger deal.
Yeah, and it makes other people think, oh, maybe when I go through puberty, I'm gonna go from looking like this to looking like a model or whatever else, So, and all of a sudden, I'm gonna have a giant ass and giant boobs
and giant lips
and a really skinny waist and I'm gonna be glamorous and an Instagram model.
Yep.
So, oh god,
I know what is wrong with this world.
So many things, but I think all in all, like, I think this freak out of this photo, and I think that post almost made things worse for her.
Oh, it made things way worse because now we're like, okay, you can't you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't create these standards and perpetuate these standards and continuously Photoshop your images so that you look like not even a human being.
Yeah.
And then as soon as a picture of you actually looking like a human being comes out, you take it down, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, so like that picture is beautiful. What?
That picture's beautiful, but
I want to take it down immediately. Nobody's allowed to see it ever.
Yeah.
Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. You could just be like, you know what? I hated that picture of myself.
Yeah.
Like, just be fucking honest.
You could be honest. Like, you could just be like, oh yeah, I really don't like that photo. I don't like it.
I get it. We've all had photos where we don't like ourselves, even though she looks fucking fine.
She does look fine.
But again, I get it.
Yeah, because like it's like, for example, if I took a picture of myself and I looked at it, and when I see it, I'm like, oh god, that's a really bad angle of me.
Yeah, and then like I would probably think it looks fine. Because often that happens where like my friend's like, oh, I look so bad there. I'm like, you look fine. Like, yeah. But then, you know. But
again, I wouldn't have this like huge freak out and everything else. But you know, you can just admit, oh, I didn't like that photo of me by the pool or whatever. But yeah, that's me as well. Yeah. That's what I look like, you know. So I think a lot of the time when these things happen, there's a really good opportunity, whoever their PR team is, to like kind of spin it as well in their favor. And I just feel like this is a bad example of what not to do.
Yeah.
Or no, this is a good example
of how
what
perfect she looks.
Yeah.
While simultaneously saying that we shouldn't have these perfect standards.
Exactly.
Like, you can't. Again, she posed. And she's like posing in the Instagram looking fucking perfect. Her stomach's like all flat. She's like, this is an airbrush. I'm like, Kate, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And she's just like, oh yeah, like, I don't like these standards of being perfect. I'm like, then why are you posing like that?
Yeah.
Fucking sucking in
You're
your
part of the
like
problem.
That. Yes. This is like another thing. Here's another random rant that I will do.
Okay.
This I don't know how I think about, I don't know what my opinion is, but it does make me cringe a little bit. Okay, what the fuck? That photo. Okay, so Daniel just pulled up a photo of Khloe.
Yeah.
And she's looking not like herself at all.
No.
And I think that photo also became
that was a huge one.
It was a big scandal because she looks completely different. Like, she doesn't look like herself.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, one thing that really bugs me kind of on Instagram is when these people, like Instagram models, okay, so people that again look perfect on their feed, everything looks beautiful, everything looks perfect.
Yeah.
And then they'll just like, and like, you know, they're probably retouching their photos, who knows, right? And their angles are perfect. And then they'll just post one of those, like, because this is trending now, to post like reality versus Instagram.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh, this is me looking, you know, not so hot. This is my reality. And then this is my Instagram. So don't believe in Instagram. I'm like, then why do you post the perfect images constantly and benefit off of posting those perfect images and then turn around and it's like, but don't believe anything you see? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, God.
Like, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of get it. But also, I'm like, isn't that kind of contradictory to what you're doing? Like, if you were not someone that posted perfect images on Instagram, then I would understand your point. Because then you could be like, you know what, this is what people do to look perfect.
Yeah.
Because there are some people that do that, which is great.
As like a joke and like,
yeah,
Instagram versus reality. Exactly. This is my reality, which is my whole feed.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you can't, again, you're doing that thing where you're trying to eat your cake or have your cake and eat it too, where you're just like, okay, like, I'm going to, you know, try to jump on this trend of, oh, like reality versus Instagram. Yeah. But then my entire feed is apparently fake photos of myself. Yeah. Like, what? Like, Anyways. So that's story number one.
So that's our lovely Khloe Kardashian story. So
don't believe the shit you see.
I think it just, again, it just highlights again the just remember, like, and try to, like, it's hard sometimes. You have to like not take yourself out, but like think about what you're looking at and just remember a lot of this is such carefully crafted images. So like a lot of what we see is not real. You know what I mean? Like, even no matter what, and it's not just in the beauty industry, it's with everything, right? It's every single thing is carefully, you know, constructed and
which is, in some ways, it's fine.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what we do, right? We put our best selves forward. So, but yeah, just remember that, especially when it comes to famous people, it's probably not real.
Exactly.
Oh God, now we're gonna get into this really fucking depressing story. Oh God,
guys, I don't know if I'm ready.
Okay, so we have this story now. Both of us haven't read too deeply into it, but I have heard about this, and I guess we should talk about it, even though it's really sad and disturbing. But basically, it's the story of is it Daunte?
Yeah,
Daunte Wright, who was, I think he was only 20 or 21.
20-year-old.
20-year-old black man who got shot and killed during a traffic stop.
Oh my God.
By the police, of course.
Yeah.
And it's insane. Okay, so I'm just going to read you one of the highlights. Police officials said an officer had intended to use a stun gun. Is that just when they like just shock them?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Oh God.
A stun gun is like one of those things where I think.
Is it like a taser?
Kind of.
Okay.
Where it's like something comes out and it just gives the person a
shock.
shock.
Right. So it's not a real gun.
Yeah.
Okay. So she intended to use a stun gun on Wright as he was attempting to. No, so Wright was attempting to re-enter his vehicle. And in body camera footage, the unidentified officer can be heard threatening to use her taser before discharging her gun and exclaiming, "Holy shit, I shot him." I think it was a woman that shot him. Yeah. So there's so much wrong with just what I just read because, again, I just don't understand. We are literally like in, right in the middle of George Floyd's like trial.
Yeah.
And like it hasn't even been a year since George Floyd. And you are just accidentally shooting somebody?
I know.
Like she's saying, "Holy shit, I shot him." That means she did it like, it was like an impulse, isn't it?
Well, it's not. Well, yeah, because
it wasn't planned.
Yeah. So she's saying like, "Oh my God, I accidentally shot him," but it's like, hang on a second. When you pull your gun, it's different than a taser. Like you must. She's
a police officer. Like I'm actually shocked. Okay, let's read some of the details. Okay. Like it's actually shocking.
Okay, so protests and violence broke out on Sunday in the Brooklyn Center, Minneapolis, after police shot and killed a black man during a traffic stop just miles away from the courtroom where
oh my God.
So this has happened just miles away from the courtroom where Derek Chauvin is facing murder charges for the death of George Floyd.
Wow.
Local officials confirmed Monday morning that the man was 20-year-old Daunte Wright, who had previously been identified by his family. In a press release Sunday, the Brooklyn Center Police Department said that officers had pulled his car over for a traffic violation around 2 p.m. and discovered that he had had a warrant out for his arrest. According to a statement, Wright tried to re-enter his car while police were trying to take him into custody. One of the officers fires her gun, hitting Daunte, whose car traveled several blocks before striking another vehicle. Officers and medical professionals attempted life-saving measures, but he was ultimately declared dead at the scene. A female passenger who Daunte's family identified as his girlfriend also sustained non-life-threatening injuries and was transported to the hospital. The people in the other vehicle were not hurt.
Wait, what the fuck? Wait, so
I guess
he had tried to re-enter his car.
Yeah.
And then one of the officers fired their gun, hitting Daunte, whose car traveled several blocks. So he was trying to drive it.
So he must have been in the car trying to drive.
I think what happened was maybe they shot him and then he was trying to get away. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like again, this is a bit vague in this story, but
oh my God, this sentence. The third officer threatens to taser Wright before firing her weapon, and immediately after she can be heard saying, "Holy shit, I shot him," seemingly to realize she had fired her gun weapon instead of her taser. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? How are you a police officer? Like, how do you accidentally?
I know. Because guys, I know people say, people make mistakes and whatever else.
This is not okay.
Exactly. We're not talking about accidentally deleting an Excel file on a computer. You know what I mean? Like, this is a fucking gun versus a taser. Like,
yeah. This is a life-threatening situation.
Yeah. I wonder, what is the training that these police officers are receiving?
Honestly, I like it. It's so bad. Like, it's actually shocking how bad this is. Like, you would think, again, in this time when it's such, like, a lot of eyes are on these officers still. So it's like, what are you? Oh my God, listen to this. I heard this as well. He said they pulled him over because he had an air freshener hanging from his rear view mirror. That's why he got pulled over? What?
Like, I don't know. Is that an illegal thing? You can't have an air freshener?
Crime?
I guess, apparently. Maybe it's because it can obstruct your view in the rear view.
Oh my God, I actually want to
but I thought I know a lot of people that have air fresheners from their rear view mirror.
Oh, from his rear view? No, that's normal.
Your rear view mirror is your mirror is like there, so you can see the back.
Isn't that normal? Isn't that where you hang your air freshener?
Usually.
Isn't it? Is it illegal in Minneapolis? Tell me.
Yeah, guys, can you please let us know if anyone's listening from Minneapolis? Can you please comment and let us know if hanging air fresheners on your rearview mirror is a traffic violation?
Is that a crime? Oh my God, I can't believe he got shot. It's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like, and again, I'm not justifying what this police officer did at all.
Yeah.
Because this is, again, the whole concept, we talked about this with the George Floyd incident as well. obviously the police officers have a difficult job to do, but there's that concept of appropriate force, like given a situation. In this instance, it does sound like they pulled him over for a traffic violation, which is apparently hanging air fresheners in the window,
God, that's actually...
which is crazy. I feel like there's better things that police can be pulling people over for, but anyway, that's besides the point. And I guess they found out while they had pulled him over that he was actually, there was a warrant out for his arrest. Sounds like at that point, he decided to try to get away or whatever else. And the officer at that point threatened to taser him, about to get away and stuff. Up until that point, I think that the officer hadn't done necessarily anything wrong because he seemed like he was trying to flee the scene, I guess. From the article, that's what it sounded like. Then there's the issue is why the fuck are you carrying a gun
right next to your taser
and not having your taser out? Like that's the part where I'm like, okay, well, because had you just tasered him so he couldn't get away, that would have made sense. Yeah. Because they had to arrest him, right? But the fact that like, why are you using your gun? What?
And like, this is also another thing that a lot of people talk about is like, why do they even have guns in circumstances of, this is the problem when you live in a place where like everyone has guns. It's like, like you would just have to have a gun to protect yourself. Cause like, they're probably thinking, oh, like if I stop someone at the traffic light, they might shoot me. And like, like it's just a, goddamn, why it be depressing as hell.
This is so true. Like, I mean, I get that police officers are in risky situations and stuff, but again, that whole concept, like they have to have guns because so many other people have guns.
It's like how do I say? It's like a snowball effect almost.
It is definitely
it's
a
like
snowball
people
effect.
having guns, therefore police officers have to have guns, and then because they have guns, then people have to have guns, and then now everybody has to have guns. Now everybody's just shooting everybody.
Exactly. It was so funny because I remember someone, I think in one of the comment section was talking about this, and like it's so true. Like, there's some people, like even in Canada, they have like certain like guns to go hunting and they're registered and whatever else. But those guns are very specific. Like I think that people go hunting with certain types of guns, like a shotgun or whatever. I don't know. I don't know much about guns.
Yeah.
But someone was like, there's literally no need for somebody unless you're in the military to have a semi-automatic weapon.
Is that what a lot of people have?
Well, I don't know if a lot of people have them, but like, like a shotgun, like a hand shotgun, or even like a
what does it mean to be semi-automatic? So you can just like press something and
like
then
a trigger
it
and it
shoots
easily shoots. I think.
God.
Again, guys, don't know much about guns, but a lot of people are like, why? Because even a hunter like that registers a gun and goes hunting in the woods and stuff, they don't have a little shotgun or a little.
They have a giant.
They have a proper like rifle or whatever it is for shooting, and like these people are having like machine guns and like this kind of stuff, and it's like literally the only people that need those types of weapons would be like if they're in the military. Do you know what I mean? Right. And actually are like going to war and whatever else. Those are people that.
It's insane.
But like why would people like who? Somebody explain to me why somebody needs a handgun. Literally, there's no reason.
Because they need it to self-defense.
For protection.
Maybe Daunte should have had a gun. Who knows?
But then it would have been worse for him.
It would have been worse.
It would have been worse for him. This is the whole thing. This whole snowball effect of like,
yeah.
And then some people, the worst is when people are like, well,
people kill people, not guns.
Guns don't kill people. People kill people. And I loved it because someone else actually was like commenting on this feed, and they were like, well, true, people do kill people, right?
Yes.
But if you compare somebody having a knife or a machete versus someone having a machine gun, and they go on a rampage in the street. Who's going to kill more people before they're taken down? And you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
that's the whole point. And we've seen it in the statistics. It's out there when there's no guns, there's less gun crime.
Exactly. It's the funny thing is, if we had no examples that we can look at, then we could be like, okay, well, maybe we don't know. You know what I mean? But the fact that you have multiple countries over the years that have restricted or done huge things to change their gun laws, and they've all seen positive impacts over, we could say the data's been over 20, 30 years or something, more than that. You can't argue it. You can't just be like, you can't say, oh, well, no, like X, Y, Z. It's like, well, no, we've seen this happen in various countries that aren't even close to each other.
Yeah.
And so it's like a no-brainer. Like, it's just, you can't argue that logic when it's been proven.
Yeah.
So,
I know. I feel bad. And now we're gotten into the gun rights, of course. Talking about gun rights. I mean, this isn't really about gun, but I mean, it is. It's part of the whole like problem. It's a bigger problem. Obviously we have, fucking police officers. How do you shoot someone thinking you tasered them? What?
Exactly. Because I would understand if it was a civilian, right? Because you probably don't. Well, first of all, why would a civilian have a gun though?
Well, a lot of civilians have guns, Daniel.
That's so true. But I mean, if it was like a regular everyday person that's not trained, I could see them mistaking a gun for a taser.
Sure.
Because if I was all of a sudden here and there was,
if I had a taser here and I had a gun here and I got another taser here and a gun here,
I would not be. I'd be like, what the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you are literally trained. That is your job.
It's not even like a. self-defense situation. Like, again, I get it. There's a warrant out for his arrest.
Yeah.
But also, like, what was the warrant? I would like to also know that.
It doesn't
Does
say
that
here.
say? And second of all, like, it wasn't like he was coming toward you. He was running away. So it wasn't like self-defense, right?
Yeah.
Because people love to say self-defense when it comes to these situations.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in certain situations you might feel like it's self-defense. But even if it was self-defense, you should be trained to not shoot them. Like, you should be trained to, like, maybe not fatally shoot them, okay?
Exactly.
So, like, self-defense, it's not even self-defense.
No.
And it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, God, guys.
It's never going to end, is it? There is no hope for humanity.
I know. I just wish that, like, this stuff, like, would stop happening. And, like, especially, I mean, you would hope that, like, you know, and the whole George Floyd incident that happened and all of that stuff, like, so many tragedies we've seen over the last kind of year,
Right.
more emphasized. I mean, not saying that they haven't been taking place all the time, but you would think that would drive or perpetuate change. And I'm sure there's been some positive change in some regards.
Has there?
Well,
I don't know.
I like to think there is, but I also live in a fantasy world. And we're just seeing more and more of these stories of like this kind of stuff. And it's just so, guys, like,
let's get our shit together.
I know. I mean,
God. Well, you know, in somewhat non-related news at all, I've been really liking that song by Lil Nas X.
Oh my God.
I'm so into that song.
Really?
It's so catchy.
Yeah.
You've heard it, right? And I saw the music video.
Yeah. What did you think of the music video?
I liked it.
Yeah,
it was very raunchy.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was risque. So
it was very risque, but I liked it.
Yeah. So those of you guys that didn't watch our last episode where we talked about Lil Nas X, he released this song called, what is it? Montero, Call Me By My Name or something?
Yeah. So good.
And
Call me by my name. No.
And
call me in the morning. I'll be on my way.
You are obsessed. I'm gonna have to
oh my
watch
God,
it.
it's so good. I think I've listened to like 20 times.
Because he's the one that sings that song too.
Apparently he had that. Okay, so I'm living in my own world.
Yeah.
And also I'm old, so I don't pay attention to pop music anymore. Yeah. But I guess his song Old Town Road was like one of the if not the longest song
running
to be on number one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah.
Like literally everywhere I would go, they always were playing that song.
Right.
And it was like,
so he's very popular, I guess.
But this song's also really good.
Oh, it's so good. I am addicted. This new song is so good.
So guys, if you haven't checked out that song yet, go and check it out. Watch the music video.
Oh my God. But Satan, the way that he portrayed Satan creeped me out so much. I was like, oh my God, he looks so creepy.
I know. Like it's so and he plays all the characters, doesn't he?
Oh, does he play
except for Satan?
Yeah. Or maybe it is him, but he has like a weird mask on.
Yeah.
But yeah, damn,
it was just it's crazy.
It was good. I loved it. I kind of loved it. Anyways, any other stories you want to touch on, Daniel?
Well,
what other sexual assaults should we talk about?
Oh God, no, I don't think
okay, we're not getting there. We're not going there.
We're not going to go there today,
There's
guys.
some more issues of YouTubers being incredibly inappropriate.
Yeah.
And just people being, just human trash, really.
Why can't everyone just be good and get along?
What happened? I think it's just we have too many people on this earth, so some of them are bound to be bad.
Well, exactly. I mean, you're gonna get that. You know what I mean? And I just feel like we're creating, though, all of us in totality, with social media, Instagram, with the internet, everything, and stuff that's going on, and like these people, everyone's chasing this dream of like clout chasing and all of this stuff. It's like perpetuating this like horrible culture, like really toxic culture. And you hear about all these stories that come out from these like YouTubers that are like, sexually assaulting people and doing all of this stuff, and it's just doing stupid pranks, people, I don't know, just dying and doing crazy shit, and you're just like, come on, guys, like, I know that a lot of these people that are doing this are quite young, but like, better. Like, come on.
I know.
And so I think we'll leave. I think we should leave leave everything
for now. You don't want to talk about all the details.
Oh God damn! No.
Did you hear about the James Charles and how he?
Oh my
there's
God!
More accusers now. At this point, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, now I'm starting to be like, okay, well, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's definitely a pattern, because you can't say like, I didn't know any of them were under 18, even though there's like 7 of them or however many that were like, I'm like 16, 17.
Yeah.
Okay, now at this point,
it's starting to be like,
you're probably lying. But
Exactly.
I'm like, also, I think this is what happens too as well when somebody becomes famous. You know, when people are just given, especially at a young age, when they haven't fully developed their characters or whatever.
Yeah.
And people are just showering them with so much, you know, adoration. And they think they're like invincible. And they just think like, oh, I'm the best.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
I'm the bomb.com.ca.
Bomb.ca.
Goddamn.
You
.ca.org.
represent the Canadian.
Yeah, just crazy. Like,
Any happy news? What movies have you been watching, Daniel, lately?
So, oh God, guys, I have a recommendation. I mean, it's been out for a while.
It's also won like the Academy.
Yeah,
didn't it?
I think
is
so.
it the Academy?
Academy Awards, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
Oscars when it's music.
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
I always get confused.
Maybe I can't remember. Guys,
The Grammys. No, the Grammys is music.
Grammys is
or
music.
maybe it's Oscar. Oh my God.
There's so many of them. You know? I get
Anyway,
confused.
Daniel apparently recently watched Green Book.
Oh, guys, the thing I love about this movie is like, well, one, it's does it say in here on the?
I think they won or were nominated for the the Academy.
Yeah.
They won Academy Award for Best Picture.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, they won a few, and so basically, yeah, such a good feel-good film about two people, unlikely opposites that slowly become friends. And I'm not going to reveal too much because I always do that. Fantastic movie. It's on Netflix now, guys. Well, at least in Canada. And I rewatched it and I just forgot how good it was. Like,
yeah, me too. I forgot.
Oh, it's so good. So really, really happy. A really cute story. And the beautiful thing about it is it is actually based on a true story.
Right.
So there's positive things like that happening all around the world as well.
I mean,
so there might not be enough of it going on, but guys, like these kind of films just give me a little bit of hope.
Do they? Mm-hmm. It has gotten some criticism though. Wow. Do you want to hear it?
Wow, what's the criticism?
I have heard, and maybe some people can, I don't know, comment on this. I'm not really sure how I feel about this criticism.
Yeah.
But that they say that films like this, they have this sort of like white savior sort of. Have you heard this criticism?
Oh, yes. Okay, I see what you mean.
And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I kind of get that, but also
I don't think so in this one though, because the thing with the green this particular Green Book is I get it, like in a sense that like if you look at their roles within the movie, the guy that plays Tony the Lip, he's the like protector figure in a sense that he's hired to be like a bodyguard, right? But if you look at like the actual story a little bit more like in detail, because I feel like people are really quick to jump on that. Look at the whole movement of, I think it was Dr. Shirley, like actually he himself is built up as such a character and somebody that's like, for example, like there's so many times where they're like, why are you playing in the South and stuff, because he's pushing for change, he's promoting change, and actually you see how much Tony the Lip learns from him. Right. They learn from each other. There's not like this person came and saved him. They actually, they helped each other out. This is what I love about the movie. And actually the way that Dr. Shirley was portrayed, yeah, he had his flaws and he had some fucked up shit going on in his own life. Bit of an alcoholic and all that kind of stuff. But he like, for example, he chose to play in these venues that like disrespect, like that would like say, oh, you're our guest of honor, and then you have to go shit in the toilet outside. Right. You know what I mean? Because he's trying to promote change within the Black community. Right. Or not within the Black community, sorry, within society in general, to be more accepting and have people of color like be playing at those venues. So I think part of it, I don't see it as like, because I can see there's some movies that are like that for sure. Whereas this one, I definitely
I will rewatch. You definitely. Yeah. I will rewatch it, Daniel.
Yeah, I'd like to get your opinion on that. Actually,
I mean, I enjoyed the movie. Yeah. I definitely enjoyed the movie. But again, I didn't, because I saw critiques like that. I was like, oh, am I missing something? Yeah. Like,
so now, actually, I kind of want to rewatch it now with that in mind. So if for a third or fourth time, with that in mind, to think, okay, let me watch this and see, But I just the whole.
I guess the critique is, I can't remember who I saw this, and again, I'm sure that like if you were a Black person living in America and you see a lot of movies kind of like showing white people and Black people, kind of intertwining in the movie, and then it makes kind of a hero out of the white I don't know, like they can I think you can see it in that perspective, but I also was like, oh, maybe it's a little bit of a reach. I don't know, it's still, I don't know. I think one of the critiques, and people have similar critiques about The Help. Yeah, the help though. Right?
That one I can see.
Right.
Because she's the one that's told the maids, helped the maids tell their story. Right. They couldn't have done it without her. Right. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a very different story. And yes, she became friends with them. And I love The Help, guys. That's like one of my favorite movies. but I can see that one. I can totally see.
Right.
Because
Right.
this white girls come in and she is kind of, not like necessarily the savior, but she helps these maids tell their story.
Right.
And if you take her out of the equation, it's not like they were empowered or not that they were,
Right.
they couldn't have done it without her.
Sure.
Or maybe they could have, but they made it seem like.
Right. She was like the main kind of
Exactly.
person that made the change happen.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Whereas
Okay.
in this film, I don't feel like that's the case.
Right.
It's
right.
more, it was more, yes, there was parts where you could maybe extrapolate and say, but the whole movie, they learn so much from each other.
Right.
And I don't think there's ever a scene where you think, oh, Tony's being the hero here. You know what I mean? Or Dr. Shirley's being the hero. It's not like that at all. At least that's
Right.
my perspective.
Interesting.
But now that you have that in your mind, you need to rewatch it.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it.
And then you could text me and be like, hey, this is what I
Yeah.
thought and this is why. So
I think it's interesting, people's
Yeah.
different takes. And I guess like if you are, again, I think the problem is like if you're Black in America and you keep seeing movies where it's like a kind of similar pattern with white people and Black people, you might think like this is the only type of representation people are giving.
Yeah.
Is when somebody is Black, there always has to be a white person attached. Maybe
Yeah.
that was the critique. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, which I'm sure there's some validity to that as well. But anyways, it's interesting.
yeah, definitely.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
God damn.
And on that happy
Daniel.
note, guys.
So guys, go watch Green Book.
Oh, such a good film. Helps
Oh,
another one,
also you
guys.
should watch a dark film. It's called I just recently watched. It's called Run.
Oh yeah, I told Rose about this, didn't I?
Yeah, and I also saw it on the
Recommended,
but I was
yeah.
like, this looks so dark. I don't know if I want to watch it.
It
And then
gets-
you told me to watch it.
Yeah.
And I watched it.
Yeah.
And we're not going to give away any spoilers.
No.
Although it's kind of obvious from the beginning
Yeah,
what's going to happen.
you-
like as
you-
soon as it started, I was like, I feel like this is going to happen.
But it's kind of crazy. Some parts you're just like,
It's crazy.
you're like, oh
I
my
know.
god. Yeah. So guys, watch
I
that
wish
one.
we could talk about it.
We can't. Maybe
damn,
next episode. Because we've told people about it now. They have time to watch it.
And then we'll put spoiler alert.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Because that's a very interesting one. And yeah, on that positive note, guys, you've got some recommendations for us for the next week of lockdown and quarantine and whatever you're doing. You have some movies
they're
to
probably
watch.
opening up. We're just the only
I
ones
know.
in
Oh
lockdown.
god damn. Let's not talk about it. I'm gonna cry. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode. If you are watching this on YouTube, be sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, leave some comments, show us some love in the comments section. And if you're watching this on your favorite podcast platform, don't forget to follow us so you get
Rate.
rate the podcast. Follow us on that podcast platform because then you'll get updated as soon as there's new episodes out.
Yeah.
And what else, Rose?
And guys, join our Patreon family. Okay, for as little as $3 a month, you can get a bonus episode every single month, and all the episodes a week earlier, so it's much more timely.
Definitely.
And they are ad free.
Yes.
And you get to join our little family,
Exactly.
which is a fun time.
It is.
You can interact with us a lot more
Exactly.
over there.
You can send us little private messages,
And you
all
can
kinds of stuff.
possibly fund our new potential studio, which
Yes.
we are in desperate need of.
Yes. Well, let's see what we can do in my house. Like, we'll probably make
I
something.
feel like we could go to dollar store and just like pick out some random shit.
we probably could get
Like, let's make
get
a
some lights
makeshift-
hanging in the
Yeah.
back, you know.
It's like fucking falling apart when we're recording.
Well, if Rose builds it, it will be.
Excuse me.
But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will see you all next week.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.